So once again, I'm Ari, and I want to introduce Valorie, and she is from Tarot Unicorns and Coffee on Meetup or goddesswithanattitude.com. And you can find a lot more information about both of us on awkwardlyzen.com. We are going to teach about setting spiritual goals for 2022. It is New Year's Day. Yay! So we're very, very excited to teach on that. We love to work together because we are very different human beings, which is great. And we have a lot of similarities, which is great. So today we're going to kind of tag team and talk a little bit about the things that have worked for us, things that we love. And yeah, hopefully this will work for you. Val, do you have anything to add to that?
Happy New Year! No.
Happy New Year! Yay! All right, guys. So the first thing I want to do is we're going to do a little guided meditation. Okay. Now, before we do this, I'm going to give you all just 1 minute. If you do not have pen and paper handy, you're going to want to have this because after this meditation, you're going to take some notes. So have a few pieces of paper and a pen or some sort of writing utensil, crayon, marker, whatever works for you. And get those ready. We're going to give you just a minute for that. And while we're getting ready for that, let me say this. So I know meditation is something that works really, really well, especially guided meditation for some people. And then there's some people where guided meditation does not work very well for you at all. Okay. And what I want to say is what we're going to go through first is a guided meditation. I want you to go ahead and take away the I can't right now. Let that go. Maybe it's different. You don't know. But if you find yourself not going along with the imagery that's being said, that's okay. Just go with the flow as much as you can. Go along for the ride and see what comes up. Okay. Don't sit there and berate yourself. That doesn't do anybody any good. Don't sit there and go, why can't I do this? And don't sit there and get pissed off at me for not doing it the right way, because it's the way I'm doing it. So the best thing you can do is if you're not finding the imagery, or if the imagery changes from what you think it's going to go to, just allow yourself to fall into the imagery as it is when you can. And if not, go on your own little adventure. Okay, you'll figure it out. Source is going to guide you exactly how you need to be guided. All right, guys. So why don't you guys get yourself settled? Feet flat on the ground if you can, but if you're comfortable in a bed or just chilling out, that's fine too. All right. You can close your eyes if you'd like, but you don't have to. And if anything distracts us, just try to stay in the moment and we'll get it turned off as quickly as we can. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and start by taking some deep breaths. I like to breathe in through my nose and out through pursed lips, but you do whatever works for you. Now, as you start to breathe in and out, let go of any tension that you're holding with those out breaths. You might want to roll your shoulders or stretch a bit. Allow yourself to get cozy right where you are. Go ahead and just keep breathing. Now, again, for some of you, visualization might be challenging. For some of you, it may be easy. Either way, just go with the words and the experience, and whatever comes your way is okay. There's no wrong way to do this. Just allow the experiences to happen. Now go ahead and take a deep breath and set an intention that you'll get the information that you need. All right. Now I want you to imagine that you are on your spiritual life path. This is a representation of your spiritual path so far. It can look like anything you want. Your path might be smooth and paved. It might be rocky and hilly. There may be trees or buildings. You might just see a void. But go ahead and take a moment and really look around. What do you see? What do you feel? Just allow yourself to experience it. Now, as you stand on your spiritual path, I want you to turn around and look at the path directly behind you. This is the past. As you look down the past path, start seeing the spiritual experiences from this last year. What sort of spiritual experiences can you see? What things or situations stand out? Do they have a feeling associated with them? Maybe they were happy, maybe they were challenging. Take a minute and notice what is there. Now, as you notice them, there might be some that you're ready to leave behind. There might be some that you'd like to, or might even need to, take into this new year. Allow the things that you'd like to come with you to move up to you on the path. Now, as these things that are going to go with you move to you, notice the things that you are leaving behind are starting to fade away, and pulse some gratitude right to them for all the lessons that you learned, for the experiences that you gained. But allow them to fade into the past, which is with as much love and light as possible, and say goodbye. I'll give you a moment. Now go ahead and focus on those things that are with you right now on your path, the ones that you're going to allow to move forward with you. I want you to take a moment and see if you really want to take these into the next year. Are they important? Do they fill your soul? Are they work that you know will serve you and serve the greater good? Check and see if there's any pieces of any of them that doesn't need to go with you. Spend the moment with them, make those choices, and when you're ready, turn around and face forward on the path. The things you are taking with you will join you. Now, as you turn around and you're looking forward into 2022. Right ahead, you notice things that you'd like to see in your new year peeking out and heading onto your path. These are your spiritual goals for the new year. You may see one, there may be many of them. As you start to see your goals more clearly, notice how they look and how they feel. Are they strong? Are they a little wavery? Take a minute and watch them and feel them. Maybe there's one that needs to just go away or that you need to adjust. Maybe there's one you need to strengthen or solidify. Maybe you'll just feel anticipation or excitement. Maybe a new one will pop up and surprise you. I'd like you to spend some time with them. Now, in a minute, you'll have a moment to write down your thoughts on these spiritual goals, what they are, what your excitement or your fears may be. But for right now, I want you to step forward and closer to those goals. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for creating them. Tell them you'll see them soon and you can't wait to work with them, that you can't wait to allow them to manifest in your life. Go ahead and chat with them like they are your new friends. If you find that you feel uneasy, you might want to ask them what steps you can take to ease your concerns. If you are excited, you may want to start making plans. I'll give you some time to connect. Now take a moment to say farewell and finish up the conversation. Let them know that you'll connect again soon, and allow yourself to let the path fade away and come back to where you're sitting right now. As you come back, grab your paper and pen and write down anything you remember. I'll go ahead and add some prompts to the chat if you need them. Now, if you didn't see anything in your meditation, or if you're just joining us, go ahead and just think for a moment on what your spiritual goals might be for 2022. And you can ask yourself the same questions. All right, go ahead and wrap up any last minute thoughts you have. Give you just a couple more minutes. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. I strongly encourage you, if you did not get a chance to write down all your thoughts, make some bullet points and make sure you come back to that after. Getting those written down while they're fresh can be really, really important. So what I want you to do with that meditation and with what came from that is, as we go into these next tips and tools and things that you can use to help some of these goals come forward, decide what's going to work for you, because both Valorie and I are going to teach a couple different things that work well for us. And not everything's going to be the same for everyone else. So that's okay. And if you try something and it doesn't work, the joy is you can try it again, or you can try something totally different, because there's so many ways to manifest what you want in your life. And I think that's one of the joys. And sometimes it's not simple. So let's just say that right off the bat. Does anyone ever set a goal on New Year's Day and then got real frustrated because it was way harder than you thought? Anyone had that experience? Yeah. So for some people, like, you can put your head down and they just go and they get it, and it's so irritating, right? I'm one of those people. I irritate my friends all the time, because if I put my head down, I'm gonna make it happen. For some of you, it might be a little more difficult, and that could be just because you're wired slightly differently, or you came in at a different time than I did, or a million different things that can happen. So the number one goal I hope we all have is to be really kind to ourselves in 2022. And ooh, my whole room just, or my whole body just chilled up. There's a lot of you in this room who aren't really nice to yourselves. And you don't have to waggle your hands for that, because you know it. So just know that you are worthy, you are awesome, you are not broken. There are always things that we can work on in ourselves to grow and expand, but you are not broken. You're beautiful just the way you are. However, I think we have some ideas on how to let that light shine. So did anyone have, just before we go on to Valorie, talking to us a little bit about laws of attraction, with an S, does anyone have anything that just kind of shocked them? Did anyone have a new goal that they didn't know they had pop up? Yeah, Robin, what was yours?
I saw a tiger, and the tiger said to me, "You need to harness your personal power." And I was like, "Really?" And the tiger said, "It's always there prowling for you, but you have to learn to feel better about it."
Cool.
And then I saw a seagull, and it said, "You have to get a higher perspective. Come on up here with me."
Nice.
And I thought to myself, I'm so glad I rolled out of bed and caught the very beginning of this.
Yeah, me too. Those are fun visualizations. I did not see any animals in mine when I practiced this earlier. But that is lovely. Anyone else have? Yeah, Val.
I saw unicorns. What surprised me about mine was not the goal itself, but it was how I felt about the goal. I was like, ooh, that feels really good. And I felt really excited and pumped up about it.
I love that. And I actually had the opposite. My goal, which I had my brain set on already, I had some trepidation about it and some fear that I realized that I'm going to have to work through in order to get that goal. And I didn't know I had that. So that was, for me, the opposite experience, but both so valuable. Joyce.
I was shocked by the immediacy of because as Valerie mentioned yesterday, I'll be starting my graduate program this year, and I was shocked by the immediacy of the how authority figures want to help me. How they want to be there for me. We've had discussions via email, and they even told me about their personal concerns, because one of them her son, professor her son has COVID. So she started telling me a little bit about that, and I thought it was very sweet of her to open up about that to me, and then she said, "I will be your advisor, and you will and you can come to me for anything at all, and you can teach. I can give you opportunities to teach students in order to get some work experience."
That's so exciting, Joyce.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm glad that you saw that in your meditation as well. And all that validation will help for sure. And sending lots of love on your new adventure. How exciting. Tracy.
So for me, this year, for me in numerology, my personal number is 7. So in tarot, that's the Chariot and the Tower, which is kind of scary. But so during the meditation, the Chariot pulled up and said, "What are you waiting for? Come on, let's go." And the Tower said, "All of these little goals that you have, those are going to build the firm foundation at the bottom of the tower, so you don't have to be scared when the lightning strikes."
I love that. And if you haven't heard Tracy, Chariot is my jam. I love Chariot adventure. So, and I love Tower too. You know what? Clear out the stuff I don't need and let me go on that adventure. So good for you, Tracy. I'm excited. All right, guys, thank you so much for sharing. I want to make sure we have enough time for everything. So Valorie, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to have you go ahead and take over and talk about the laws of attraction.
Let me unmute myself. There we go.
Can everyone see that? Give me a nod. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. I was so excited to get to talk about the laws of attraction, and I do call them laws now, whereas in the past I called them the law of attraction. The laws of attraction is a broad topic. Take this as a sampling, a tidbit, a couple of bites that you can take away to work more in alignment with the laws of attraction. I have to be very careful at how I phrase that, because the laws of attraction for me, always available. And people are like, well, it doesn't work for me. It's working, but are you working in alignment with it? So let's talk about goal setting, our spiritual goal setting, and how we can use the laws of attraction to work with it. Laws, like I said, I'm going to give a very brief example as to why I've switched my terminology to laws instead of law. It's like the law of gravity, right? So imagine yourself, you see someone standing at the top of a building and they drop a feather and gravity is at play and that feather gently floats down to the ground. Now you're standing at the top of the building and you say, oh, that looks like fun, and you jump off. Are you going to float to the ground just like that feather? No, because there's other things in play. You need to know about mass, and you need to know about inertia, and you need to know about a whole bunch of other things. Just because the law of gravity is at play doesn't mean that you're going to land the same way that feather lands. So that's why I expanded to talk about the laws of attraction, because the main law of attraction, like attracts like, but there's more to it than that. So there's more at play than just a feather dropping gently. And Ari knows my love-hate relationship with the law of attraction. Okay, working with the laws of attraction, though, to reach your spiritual goals. So we're going to go over 4 check-ins to stay on track with your goals. So this is assuming that you've already set your goal. What are you going to do to stay in alignment with those goals so that you can move forward and progress and see the manifestation? Because laws of attraction are about manifestations, and see the manifestations of your goals. 4 check-ins. The first one we're going to call Hocus Pocus Focus. The second one we're going to call being a vibrational match to what you want. Being generally specific. Those sound like complete opposites, but we're going to talk about it. You're going to get it. Taking inspired action, inspired being the key word here. So let's talk about the first check-in, Hocus Pocus Focus. We got our little Google search right there. Stay on track, check-in. So you've got your goal. Question to ask yourself, check in. Am I focused on my spiritual goal or the lack of it? When you work with the laws of attraction, it's just like putting something into Google. If your spiritual goal is to be clairaudient this year, learn how to work with your clairs into a way that you're able to invite clairaudience into your toolkit. But every time you think about being clairaudient, you're telling yourself, why am I not clairaudient? Imagine if you typed in, why am I not clairaudient, into Google. Google is going to return all the reasons why you're not. So this is about mindset. As you focus on your goals, what questions are you asking yourself? Are you focused on what you want, or are you focused on the lack of it, or why you don't have it, or the reasons why it's hard, or the reasons why you're not there yet? Those things are going to keep it at bay. Focusing on your spiritual goal in a way that invites it in It's going to help you keep focused. Focus, focus, focus. It's all magical, y'all. It's all energy. So shift your speech, your inner talk, and your mindset to refocus on the goal itself. Well, we're going to get into that a little bit later, but if your goal is clairaudient, you want to try to stay focused on why you want that goal. What is it going to bring to you? Is it going to bring just a sense of joy? Is it going to bring you a tool so that you can help others? All of these things are positive ways to stay focused, to put into the universal Google search positive things to get a positive return as far as what you're going to attract back to you. And of course, ask the divine for help. If you're lost and you don't know and you're just like, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, I don't know. Is this on? Is this thing on? Have you ever had that feeling like you just feel like you're talking to air and nothing's coming back? Ask the divine for help. The divine is going to help you shift your speech, clear up your inner talk, refocus on the goal itself. Oh, look, there's another reminder. Don't forget to ask the divine for help. Second check-in. This is being a vibrational match to what you want. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? Vibrational match. Vibration as an energy being. Your feelings are a really good indication of where your energy is focused. So we talked about being focused. Now you're going to check in, how am I feeling? Well, I'm feeling kind of like shit. I'm feeling discouraged. I'm feeling depressed. Well, that's a very good indication that you're not focusing in the right way when it comes to your spiritual goals. Your emotions are going to be one of the first ways that you can check in to say, am I really focused on my goal, or is my focus somewhere else and I'm just not quite aware of what I'm doing here with my energy? So ask yourself, how are you feeling? How are you feeling right now in the present moment when you think about your spiritual goal? When you think about, I'm going to keep using this example, clairaudient. When you think about, how does it feel to be clear? How would I feel if I was clairaudient right now? And you're asking yourself right now today. And all of a sudden you have this heaviness in your heart and you start thinking about, I'm not clairaudient yet. That's a clue. If you think again, how would I feel to be clairaudient? Maybe it's tomorrow. And now you're feeling really positive about it. Your energy is really good about it. That's the moment that you want to keep adding momentum to it and keep thinking about one of your spiritual goals and it is not feeling good. Stop thinking about it for that moment. Pick it up again later. So this is all about keeping your energy and your vibration in track, in alignment with your goals. And you do that by doing a check-in. How am I feeling in this present moment when I think about my spiritual goal? Am I breaking up, y'all? I'm getting an internet unstable message. Okay, just a little bit. I'm going to slow down because usually that helps with my speech so that you don't miss so much if it breaks up. So you still get the gist of what I'm saying. Okay. What would it feel like to actually accomplish your goal is another thing that will bring you into a vibrational match with your goals. So this is all about how you're feeling. And then finally, shift into the feeling of already accomplishing your goal. It's underlined because we're going to talk about how you can do that in a moment. And then let the universe co-conspire to make it a reality. When you hold the vibration of accomplishment, the universe has no choice but to bring you everything that matches that vibration. Hear me clearly when I say everything that matches that vibration. If you're thinking about accomplishing your spiritual goal of clairaudience, and that's what gets you to that vibration of accomplishment, know that everything that matches the vibration of accomplishment now has a doorway to come into your life. So not just the clairaudient thing that you are thinking about and feeling accomplished about, but everything else in your life that matches accomplishment, your financial goals, your family goals, all of those now have access to you when you hold that vibration of accomplishment or that vibration of really feeling good. That's the doorway. And did I say it already? Don't forget to ask the divine for help. If you're just out there flopping around like a wet fish and you're just like, I'm trying to feel what it feels like to be successful, and I've never been successful, so I don't really know what I'm doing here. Ask the divine for help. These are spiritual goals, y'all. It makes sense to ask for spirit help, doesn't it? Yes, good. All right. Last thing I'm going to talk about, this is a mini tool. Suggestion for is to try a mood tracker. So we're talking about feelings. For those of you who don't know what a mood tracker is, I'm going to try to show it here on the screen. So you see I have my color keys. This is what you write in for yourself. You can get these all online. Some look different. This is just one I liked because it was,
I took it off so they can see your screen.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh no, I lost connection. This is one, oh, hold on you guys. One moment, please.
And we've lost her.
I'm here. I just noticed that my laptop plug fell off and I was about to lose power on top of everything else. It's plugged in now. Okay, mood tracker. This is just the object I like because it was a coffee cup, but they're all different kinds. You can find one that matches your personality. The idea of the mood tracker is you create your own key. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but I'm going to read to you the 4 colors that I chose. The first color says passionate, tapped in, on fire, inspired action. The other one says feeling very grounded and connected. The other one says in my head, thinking a lot. There's 4 y'all. And then the other one is emotional day. Now, I don't know if y'all are following along, but those are the 4 elements. Fire, water, air, grounded, thinking, all of those things. And as you track your days, smaller, let me get a little bit closer. See how I've numbered them? So that's the first day of the month, the second day of the month, and that's how I'm feeling overall. And at the end of the month, you're going to be able to look back and say, this month, was I doing a lot of inspired actions? Are my flowers mostly, or my heart's mostly purple? Was I really grounded this month? Do I have a lot of browns? Is it an even mix of what's going on? How is that going to help you with your goals? Because if you get to the end of the month and you're feeling a little off track and you look back at your mood tracker and you see that for the most of the month, you were pissed off or anxious or worried about something, guess what? Probably not a good month for manifestations. Try again next month. See what kicked off. See what, if you can remember what caused those moods. So maybe you can get to the bottom of why am I feeling like this so continually. So that's one way. Last one I'm going to show you is just a more complicated one. And this is a mood and gratitude tracker. And so it's the same idea. You're coloring around the outside, but inside you're telling what you were grateful for that day. And you can also put in there maybe what affected your mood that day. And all of this is going to help you keep tapped in, especially on days where you're feeling really, really good, which are excellent days for manifesting, excellent days to focus on spiritual goals when you're feeling really good. If you can keep track of that and look back and say, what to do different this day? That was the day the weather was really good and I took my dog for a walk. Oh my God. Maybe I need to put that on my list of things to do when I'm not feeling so well, because that shifted the mood of my entire day. And it was totally unrelated to my spiritual goal. It was just me getting out of nature. So it's a way to keep track of your vibration and what affects your vibration, which is a very good tool when it comes to trying to use the law of attraction to manifest. Am I losing connection?
You're doing fine.
A little bit. Okay, good. Okay,
there is a couple questions. Val,
oh, yes.
Did you answer those? One is, what if you flip-flop all day?
There are trackers for those. Anna, you're my kind of girl because I do that too. There are trackers for those, or you can modify it. Maybe one of these stems is one day and you just track it throughout the day, morning, afternoon, night. So you can modify it. You can make your own tracker. You can just journal it. You don't have to have a pretty color-coded one. You can just journal. This is how I felt when I woke up. This is how I felt in the middle of the day. This is how I felt at the end of the day. And just keep track of what may have affected those throughout your day. I found mine, Dawn. I found mine online. I did a search for a free mood tracker. Do you color them at the end of the day? Yes, I would. If you're doing one color per day, I would wait for the end of the day, and then figure out what was your overall mood for the day, and then color it in at the end of the day.
And then could you also real quick run through one more time the moods and the elements?
Okay, yes. And you can do these however they suit you. This is how I did it on mine. I had fire, which should have been red, but purple's my favorite color, so it's purple. Passionate. I was feeling passionate, tapped in, on fire. I was taking inspired action this day. Brown was grounded. I was feeling very grounded and very connected. So very connected to my material world, maybe to my family, to the world around me. The dark blue was I was in my head and thinking a lot. I have more days like that than I would care to admit to, but I guess I just did. So that's a very, that's air. It's when you're in your head and thinking a lot. And then the last one is light blue, and that's an emotional day. Emotions of any kind, when you feel those heightened emotions coming up, that's going to be your water. And so that's light blue for water.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Let me go back to screen share. Not that screen. Where'd my screen go? One moment. Are y'all seeing the right screen? You're probably not. One moment. Let me bring it back to the front.
I messed you up when I kicked you out.
All right. Back in business. Okay, so we stopped at mood tracker and making sure you are a vibrational match to what you want. How am I feeling is the check-in question. Being generally specific. This is the one I told you I'm going to explain. This is going to help you shift your mindset when you feel like you're getting lost or you feel like you're not really focusing on your goal or perhaps focusing too much. This lady is missing a sock. I like her pedicure and her tattoo, but she's missing a sock. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So your check-in for being generally specific is what in my life is already a match to what I'm asking for. If you are focused so specifically, clear audience, I'm going to use that again. Maybe you are so specific that you're telling your guides, dear guides, I would like my clear audience to manifest itself between the hours of 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I need it to sound like the voice of Bette Midler. And could she also sing a phrase or something just so that I know that it's her? So you're being real specific. And that might be to your detriment when you get so specific that you're not allowing other forms to show up for you in a way that source knows is more suited to you and what's going on with you. So being generally specific is backing off and seeing the big picture. So you're not so specific as to how you want it to come and what channel and what you want the voice to sound like, but you're just saying, hey, could you just show me a little bit more clairaudience in my day? That's how you say generally specific. I hope that makes sense. So this answers the question of how am I supposed to know what it feels like if I've never experienced it before? So this is a clue in for when someone is asking for something that they've never experienced before. Find something that feels like it, that is similar to it. And that's how you remember we talked about the vibrational match, anything that's going to match the vibration of, what did we go with? Whatever we went with, anything that's going to match the vibration of abundance is going to come through that door. So when you are generally specific, you're asking for, the cheat code is go general. You're asking for anything that's going to be a close match for what you're asking for that you have already experienced before in your life. For instance, if you're asking, please let me hear my guides more clearly in 2022, by getting general with it, you look for examples in your life where you've listened and heard before. Almost all of us have heard our guides at some point, and we're asking for more frequency or more clarity. Go back to when you first heard your guide, when you first knew that that was your guide. How did you feel? What did it feel like? What was said to you? And realize that, oh, wait, I've already done this before. And that gets the momentum going and attracts more of that to you. in her situation, this is the only sock that was available for her. It's not an exact match to what she's asking for, but it's similar. It's general. It's a sock. It's striped. Now she's thinking about striped socks. Now she's got something warm on her foot. Now she's waiting for the manifestation of the exact match to what she's asking for. But in the meantime, she's focusing on the things that are in her environment that are already a close match. And that's going to bring in more of the specific of what you're asking for without getting too specific. So keep your focus general. And ask the divine for help, y'all. Gosh, the divine is willing to help you. Last one, take inspired action. It's not about the doing. It's not about just taking action. It's about waiting for the inspiration. Stay on track, check in. Am I enjoying myself? That's how you know if this action is inspired. Yes, we have to do things that don't always feel inspired, like doing the dishes and the laundry and going to work. This is about focusing on your spiritual goals. When you take a step towards your spiritual goal, are you enjoying yourself in the moment while you're taking that step? If you're not, it's not to say that spiritual goal or that action is out of alignment, but it is to say that you're probably taking the action at the wrong time. Wait until it feels inspired. How will I know when to act and what to do? Inspired action feels good. Oh, are we talking about feelings again, Valorie? Yes, we are. Feelings are so key to bringing your manifestations and making sure that you're staying on track. Oftentimes, the inspiration doesn't come until after the mindset shift. If you're feeling uninspired or like you don't know what comes next, go back to the other 3 check-ins that we talked about and see if you need to tweak and make adjustments. Or meditate for inspiration. That's one of the best things you can do. Clear your mindset, ask for inspiration from the divine, and ask, what am I supposed to do next? Meditate. One of the best actions to take when all else fails, take a nap. Reset, take a nap, gives yourself a chance to rest energetically, spiritually, physically, and it's like pressing the reset button. Let me stop all of this noise that doesn't seem to be helping me. Let me take a nap. Let me set the intention that when I wake up, I'm refreshed. So that's one way to bring in that inspiration. And I just want to give a real quick example. There was an example of someone who needed to book a flight, and she just kept procrastinating and putting it off. And every time she thought about booking this flight, it felt like drudgery and it felt like, oh, I don't want to do it. Until one night, middle of the night, all of a sudden she's feeling good about this thing. And she's like, oh my gosh, I really should book that flight right now. I feel really good about it. In the middle of the night, y'all, she gets up to book the flight. She gets on the phone with the agent and they're like, these seats just became available just a few moments ago. And they're at this discounted price, whatever it was. And so it's not about not taking the action of booking the flight. It's about waiting until it feels inspired and knowing that you're being divinely led to do this and do it now, because this is the prime time. This is the right time for you. So again, don't forget to ask the divine for help, because the divine is going to line things up in a way for you that work for your benefit so that you can joyfully walk down your path. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it.
Awesome. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the laws of attraction? Okay. I'm looking, I'm watching, seeing. Okay. I think we're good to go. Oh, hold on. Something might have just gone over in the chat. Okay. Awesome. Good job, Valorie. Thank you. And let me just wrap that all up with gratitude, you guys. Have gratitude when the things that you are trying to attract come your way in any way, shape, or form, because gratitude will keep that frequency way up here. All right. Let me see. I'm going to talk to you guys. Get your pen and paper handy. And I'm going to talk to you guys for just a second about, I call them life maps. Now, lots of people call them all sorts of different things. Some of you who were here last year on New Year's Day experienced this. I did a whole class on it. We're going to do just a little mini class today, and it's going to be slightly different. So last year when I talked about mind maps, it talked about any goal you have. So the example that's used a lot, Bob Proctor, is where I learned this. And there's a video on YouTube, and he talked about bringing in a relationship into your life. And what he basically did and taught was put in the middle of a circle that looked like this. You put, I want a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a significant other or whatever. And then you start writing all of the things that you want that person to have. Now, when I saw this video, I have a lovely husband. I didn't need to create that in my life. But one of the things that I knew I wanted to create was more abundance within my friend group. I love my friends, all of them that have been with me forever, but I was ready to have friends who wanted to adventure in the same way as me, and who wanted to travel, and who wanted to do certain things, and who were really business motivated. And so I did that with friends. I said, new friends. And I made this giant list of, it's actually probably over here somewhere, of all the things that I wanted in those friendships. I wanted people who were nice. I wanted people who were funny. I wanted people who did all of that. So that was a really specific thing for a person. So when Valorie and I started talking about creating these spiritual goals, we talked about how would this mind map work, this life map work for us. So I was going to go into my own goal this year, which is to accept. Okay, not accept, but accept. I want to go into this year with more acceptance. I want to accept myself. I want to accept others. I want to have faith. So what I did was I wrote the goal right here in the middle. And then all the things around here are things that I want from this goal. Okay, so I want to have more faith. Now, with this faith, when I go into more details, I'm going to do what I did down here, because down here I said no judgment. And I have me and I have others, because I want to accept myself more and have no judgment for myself. And I want to have no judgment for others. This one's a big one, you guys. This is tough. So I might star this one. I might put a little thing about it. So up here with this faith, I might put down that I want to have faith in my channeling, that I want to have faith in the messages that I'm getting. I want to accept my new ideas or other people's new ideas. I want to accept my worthiness in life. I want to accept the fact that I have shadow work, and then I want to accept that I have to do it. I want to accept feeling peaceful. I want to accept that change is okay, and I want to go with the flow. So what you can do is you can take your goal and you can put it in the middle of your sheet and draw a circle around it. So let's say your goal is to practice, which one did you say? Claircognizance. Okay. Knowing. Okay. So claircognizance, I want to learn how to accept the knowing that I have. All of your lines out from that would be things that you want to embrace in that. So you want to have faith that you are knowing what you hear. You want to hear the messages clearer. You want to be able to clearly communicate those messages. You want to know who is telling you the messages. So all the things that you can do on there are just really start digging in, and it's okay to get super, super specific. So why don't you guys take a few minutes and work on that? You're not going to get done today, but go ahead and start writing out some of those things that you want with your goal. And this is kind of another way to do a vision board without all of the pretty pictures. So this is something that you can set to the side. You don't need to really analyze it every day, but just glance at it periodically and trust that you're going to attract these things into your life. If anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Now, if you're someone who struggles with things like this, a great thing to do is go ahead and Google what it is that your goal is and read what other people have done. Read that worked for other people and you can take from them and take inspiration, which is a joy.
I'm having the weirdest mental hang up. I want new friends. I love that. I need more in my life. But I've forgotten how to spell it. I cannot spell it. Is it I before E, except after C? But no matter, I have it written in 5 different ways, and I just can't remember how to spell it.
Well,
I think that's a little guidance for myself, right?
So maybe some shadow work that could be done there.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a little. So is it F-R-I-E?
Yep, fry ends. F-R-I-E.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, no problem. I do that sometimes with some of the craziest words.
And the words just get stranger as I look at it. I'm like, no, is that a word? That is a word. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so there's a question that is, do you find that a circle works better? And I think you have to do what works for you. I like the circle idea of it because it feels to me like everything coming in and out of it. So there's a flow to it for me. But if a list works better for you, that's great. If pictures work better for you, then go ahead and make that vision board with those pictures. Definitely allowing that to flow. And here's the other nice thing about this, you guys, is you can adapt it as time goes on. So let's say you're looking for new friends or you're looking for claircognizance. As you are going on in your day-to-day life, start paying attention to things and seeing what little messages you get that you want to add to your list. You can change it as many times as you want. You can cross things off. You can throw the whole thing away and start over. This is an ongoing tool if you want it to be. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead. You can keep going with this once you finish here. I want to make sure Valorie has a couple more things for us. So I'm going to pass it back to Val. Hold on, Val, let me give you the spotlight. There we go.
Awesome. Thank you, Ari. I got my mind map started. All right. So I'm going to talk about affirmations, how we can use affirmations as tools to help us stay on track with our spiritual goals. And we did it again. I need that window in front. One moment. It doesn't like it when it's already on screen share. I always have to minimize it and then share. All right, affirmations. We're going to go through this pretty quickly. So if you have any questions, I can send the screen to you later. So let's talk about affirmations and why they don't work. No, let's not talk about why they don't work. Let's talk about how we can get them to work better to help us reach our goals. What is an affirmation? When you affirm, you are stating something as a fact. You are asserting strongly and publicly. So a lot of people take affirmations as like chants or mantras, and they just say them over and over and over again. And then they wake up and they say, why is it not working? Well, what are you affirming? Affirmations respond to energies and belief systems, not the words coming out of your mouth. So if you are saying, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, and you wake up and you have a negative balance in your bank account, y'all, I have done that in my past. It's matching your energies and your belief systems. If I have a belief system that says I'm in lack, I'm in struggling, and my energy says I'm not abundant, it doesn't matter how many times I say I'm a millionaire. It's working against what I believe, and it's working against the energy that I'm putting out into the world, and my affirmation will not work. So make sure that whatever you are affirming is actually in line with where you are energetically presently and your belief system. Don't make it weird. How do you bring it into alignment? Create affirmations that work. You can get as specific as you can without making it weird. If you say, I am a millionaire, and you're like, oh, that feels like bullshit, that's making it weird. If you say, I'm abundant, and you say, oh, that feels a little bit better. Or if you say, I can remember times when I allowed abundance into my life. Ooh, I can remember times when, oh, that's the truth. Oh, I'm making a statement of fact now. Oh, I'm affirming something. So you see how we did that? We went from being really, really specific, and it didn't feel good and it felt weird, to moving it down to something that we actually believed in. Now you can move that forward, but you have to start with, where are your beliefs at right now, today? Make your affirmation from your current state of being. Again, go general. Make sure your affirmations are a match to your current energies and beliefs, and then work on shifting them to bring in, to get more specific. If it feels weird, back off, make it more general, or the affirmations are not going to work. One more thing, get as specific as you know. Same one. Next one. Okay, these are some sentence stems that you can use to work with if you're still like, I don't know how to make an affirmation. I feel XYZ about my goal right now, in the moment. I feel excited. I feel nervous. You can work with that because you're stating how you feel right now. And you want to figure out where you are right now. I feel excited about my goal. It's better than, I feel like I can take on the world today, and making that your affirmation when that's not really what's going on. I know how to, and find something that matches something that you've done before that is in alignment with your goal. I know how to plan. If your goal is to create this is my goal. If your goal is to create a planner for the year ahead, and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do that. Okay, let me back it up. I know how to plan. Oh, that feels good. That's a good affirmation, y'all. Keep it simple until you can get specific. The divine helps me. Oh, are we asking the divine for help again? Yes, we are. This is an affirmation that works for everybody. The divine helps me reach my goal by what? By supporting me, by guiding me, by giving me insight, by showing me the way, whatever, fill in the blank. And affirm to yourself over and over again, because that's going to show you where the divine is showing up for you in your life. I am one of the most popular affirmations. I am what? What is you? When you state something that you are, because that's where you want to be, but that's not how you're feeling, that affirmation generally works against you. When you state something that you are that is very similar to where you want to be, now you're working on bringing more of that into your life. And I already gave that example. Instead of saying I am a millionaire, you can say I am abundant, because that works and that's true. All right. That is what I have as far as affirmations.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions on that? Affirmations are some that are tough for some people. And so Kathy, you asked a question over there. Did we get the answer for that? Kathy M? We must have, because you're not unmuting. Hi.
Hello. Kinda. Could you talk about that a little bit more specifically? How do you be general and specific?
More specifically.
Because it feels a little contradictory. I think I understand, but
generally specific, you can think of it as keeping it in the same ballpark. So if your idea is, I want to be the best pitcher in the MLB. I think that's what the initials are for baseball. I don't follow baseball. And you find out you struggle with that. The best pitcher, and it feels like a struggle and it feels like an impossibility. Keep it in the ballpark. I want to be a ball player. You're still specific to the sport and to what you want to do, but now you're general. You're not saying you want to be the best. You're not even saying what position you want to play. You're just saying, I want to have fun playing baseball. So that's how you keep it in the same ballpark, specific, but you're general, because you're moving it back to where it feels comfortable. I can accomplish that. I can have fun playing baseball. I don't know if I can be the best one in the league, but I can have fun playing baseball. So you see how that's generally specific?
I also find, and I think it's different for everyone, and then we'll get to Anna and then Miriam, is oftentimes for me, and what has happened on my spiritual path is a lot like what Susanna was saying over in the chat about for my greatest good and for the greatest good, right? Like finding that in the past, it used to be very monetary for me. There was always, I'm going to manifest a big house, and I'm going to manifest this, and I'm going to manifest that. And then as I've gone down my spiritual path, it has gotten more to the universe is always working in my favor, and trusting that. And y'all, when I started trusting that, and that was my affirmation, then all of a sudden my job started being very successful and my income increased, and Awkwardly Zen started working really well. And so there is sometimes the specificity can get you so in a little bit of a hole, and it's hard to believe that when it's not happening. Whereas the universe is working in my favor, and I am living in high frequency, and I can accept things as they are. That's mine for this next year. Can sometimes be general enough, but they can also be very specific in the things that you get for that. And then it's a matter of opening yourself to accepting and loving that, and being in gratitude when those things start happening for you. Does that make sense? Anna.
I'm sorry if this already been answered. I guess it's just a concept that's kind of hard for me to kind of have it sink in. But if, let's say, I want to be a millionaire, right? But I've never felt like a millionaire, like you mentioned, start with feeling like, what that would feel like on the scale that I've experienced. Does it actually, because I don't want to keep manifesting like small amounts of money, for example, all my life, because that kind of going to take me a while to be a millionaire. So is it going to eventually scale up my feelings, or like, how does it work if I have big plans, but I only have small experiences?
Anna, I love that question because I know Anna enough that I can give you an example that's going to work out for you and that's going to make sense. When you think about, this is how you stay generally specific when it comes to money. When you think about a millionaire or whatever big sum amount that you want in your bank account, how do you stay generally specific? First thing, let's take it out of the realm of money and put it into the bucket of abundance. Now you're thinking about it as abundance. Okay. Now, where in my life do I already see abundance showing up for me, showing itself to me every day? Anna, you see it when you walk the beach. All of those fossils that make themselves available to you. I've seen your collection on social media. That's abundance showing up in your life. Think about how you feel when you find those things, when you see those things. Have you ever walked up on one and it's just like, there's no way I would have seen this, except the divine must have wanted me to see this specific one. The divine can show you abundance in that same way, because now you're in that vibration of being able to see it and receive it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Thank you, Val. Miriam.
So I just wanted to share what I use as my affirmation. I just simply say I am source instead of getting wrapped up in, all the different affirmations out there. And I've gotten, at one point, my affirmations were very specific and they didn't feel right. And so just knowing that I am divine source is within me, it is very empowering for anything you want to manifest, or at least in my case.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that that's a good point. It's why it's so important to figure out what works for you, because for some people, they are master manifestors. So they can say, I want a red dress. And literally 2 days later, someone's going to show up at their door with a red dress. Like, there are people like that out there. It's mind boggling, right? That is not how it works for me generally. I'll say, I want a red dress, or I'm going to have the most beautiful red dress. And I'll start seeing red dresses on everyone else, because source is like, okay, well, so everything is different. And that idea that we are all divine, that we all part of the one, whatever works for you is what you've got to find within your affirmation. But if you have been saying the same affirmation over and over again and it doesn't feel right, you're going to have to flip that. You're going to have to switch those words up a little bit, because there's no point in saying something that's next thing that comes out of your head is, but that's not true. But that's stupid, but I'm wrong, because that's the frequency that's getting sent out. Whereas the abundance side of things is, I appreciate the abundance that's coming and I welcome more abundance. I appreciate the abundance and then be grateful for all of that abundance that happens. And then you can up it. I appreciate the fact that greater abundance is headed my way. And you can feel that, because that's not huge, right? That's not $1 million. Some people can go, I want to create $1 million, and they will instantly do it. So realize that you have to work through your own, we're in with Valorie, I can say whatever I want. Shit, Valorie, you have to work through your own shit to get yourself on track with it. Joyce, what did you have there? And then we're going to go into Valerie's last little bit.
Yeah, I just see it. I just see the part where she talks about creating affirmations at work. I see it as a succession about how to get to the to ultimately get to the I am, your goal. And I really like that because, it's like you start at the beginning. I feel blank about my goal. Then you say, I know how to blank, that's how you're using your tools. And then you use a divine the assistance of the divine to get you to that goal. So I just wanted to mention that. That's just how I saw it.
Yeah, thank you, Joyce. Awesome. Yeah, and I think another thing that's coming up over in the chat is the idea of feeling selfish for asking for more. The universe is abundant. The universe is abundant. There is a lot of things out there, and a good money in the hands of good people is good things, y'all. So don't be hesitant of creating this abundance in your life so that you can create abundance in other people's lives. Groups like ours have got to up that because there is a lot of good that can be done with the abundance that we create. And it's not all about money, right? It's about community. It's about being there for one another. The best abundance that I've had, awkwardly said, I haven't made a dime. As a matter of fact, I've spent a few dimes. But the abundance of this group for so many people, including for me, has created so much forward momentum that it's beautiful, and it has affected my entire life and my abundance in other areas. So find that you being a part of this group, you are a part of that abundance. You are creating abundance for me right now. And I think that that's beautiful. So we all get to be a part of this together. And I think that's lovely. All right, Valorie, are you ready?
I think so. I'm ready.
I said, Valorie, do you want to do the closing meditation? And she said, yeah, give me the hard part. And then immediately said yes, because she's good like that.
Okay. All right. Let's get settled in. So I want you all to think of this more as a visualization. Kind of, it's so cool because Ari went the same way with hers at the beginning. And I was just like, I was thinking that same thing. So think of it more like a visualization. We're not going to go deep into a meditative state, but I do want you to visualize some things, and you're going to get the benefit from this visualization. If you have trouble with visualization, think of it as me sitting in front of you, telling you a story, and you're just filling in the blanks where you need to. So whatever works for you. So we're going to get settled in, take a couple of deep breaths. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Release all of the tension and all of the excitement from this event and just really settle in. Continue to breathe deeply. I want you to just kind of slow things down for yourself and be present. Now I want you to imagine yourself standing with your guide. It can be anyone. It can be the divine. It can be your spirit guide. It can be one of your ancestors in spirit. But for right now, we're going to call this individual, this being, your guide, because they're going to guide you for this moment. And you're in conversation with them. And they're asking you to remember the first time you learned how to ride a bike, or maybe the first time you learned how to tie your shoe, something that you felt really successful about for the first time when you were younger. Think about that memory now. How excited you were to finally figure it out. How fun it was to do it again and again. How proud you were of what you figured out and your accomplishment. As you're talking about this and remembering how good it felt, your guide gives you a piece of paper and asks you to write down what that thing was, and one word that describes how you felt in the moment that you accomplished it. Now you're going to take that piece of paper and tuck it in your wallet or your purse or in your pocket. And now you're going to talk with your guide about something in the future. One of your spiritual goals for 2022. You're asking the divine for help. Explain to them what you want and why you want it. And now for maybe one of the first times you see your guide taking out pencil and paper and making notes, writing down all the details. Get as detailed as you can about this goal as you speak with your guide. Remember to explain to your guide why you want it. And now after your guide has listened and take notes, they look at you and they say, I think I know exactly where you can get that goal right now. Come with me. As you turn to follow your guide, right in front of you, there's a building that appears. Your guide opens the door and you walk in together. And as you're standing in this beautiful building, you see the words Energy Bank. You walk over to the teller. Your guide is with you. And your guide puts down the notes that they've been taking and explains exactly to the teller what your goal is and what you would like to withdraw from the bank today. That teller explains to you that their bank works a little different and they're only able to give exchanges. Do you have anything to exchange for this spiritual goal that you want to accomplish in 2022? It's at this moment that your guide nudges you and reminds you of that note that you put in your pocket or your purse or your wallet. You take it out. You remember that successful achievement. You think it was minuscule, unimportant. First time you decided to ride your bike is written on that paper, or maybe first time I tied my shoes. You slide it over to the teller. And the teller says, this is exactly what you need. This is an even exchange. How you feel about this goal is exactly how you're going to feel about this spiritual goal for 2022. They take your slip of paper and they push back over to you the goal that you've been asking for. Hold that goal close to you. Feel the energy of that accomplished goal. It should feel very familiar. It should feel just like the slip of paper that you just slid over to them. And it's at this moment that you realize that all of your accomplishments, everything that you've sought your entire life, it's all energy. And as far as this divine energy bank is concerned, it's all the same currency. You only need to reach into your life, into your memories, and find anything that you've accomplished and exchange that energy for what you want to accomplish in the future. Sit with the energy of what it feels like to have that goal in your arms next to your heart. The spiritual goal has just been divinely handed to you in its completed, accomplished form. You feel your heart center opening up and pulling that energy in, that energy of success and accomplishment. You thank your guide, and both of you walk out of that energy bank together. And now you've reached your goal. You have your goal in your heart center to carry with you through this next year. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Stretch a little bit, open your eyes and come back to the room when you're ready. I hope that was a good visualization that shows you that it's all energy, y'all. And if you want to get to your goal, you just have to find the way to find the same energy of that which you're seeking. Hold that energetic feeling with you. If you were able to feel something in your heart center as you clutch that success close to your heart, hold that feeling with you. Carry that feeling forward, and that's going to attract more of that to you in 2022.
Yay, I love it. Miriam says that they love your meditation so much, and me too. As a matter of fact, you guys, I just put links over in. If you are here from Awkwardly Zen, make sure that you are also a part of Tarot Unicorns and Coffee, which is Valerie's meetup group. And because they do a lot of fun activities that we don't necessarily promote on Awkwardly Zen, and vice versa. So if you came here from Valerie's group, please join Awkwardly Zen, because we do a lot of events that Valorie doesn't cross promote either, because we'd make her crazy. And then Valerie's webpage is right there, and I'm just going to gush about my friend for a minute. She's going to kill me for this, but you guys, Valorie, if you've never had a reading from Valorie, she has a lot of different options there. Her year ahead reading is very powerful. So if you are looking for a way to like kickstart your year and to kind of have an idea of what you might want to work on when and what month, I would highly suggest booking with Val on that. You can also get smaller readings and do stuff with her. And she is also one of the mentors on our mentorship membership. So we have some really fun stuff coming up in the new year. So if you are a part of our free community and you've been thinking, you know, I'd love a little bit more hands-on, one-on-one with some of our mentors and teachers, we've got a lovely group that does fun things. And we have a big Discover Your Spiritual Gifts, like 6-week series coming up here soon. That's going to be put out there in a minute. So I'm very excited about that. Again, that's for the mentorship membership. So check that out on awkwardlyzen.com underneath communities, but there is a free community there that you can join as well. For those of you who are looking for the video of this, make sure that you are a part of awkwardlyzen.com, the community. And when you're signed into the community, down the left side, there is a menu. On that, there's a little video, and that will take you to all of our videos that are available right now. The class last night and this one will take a few days to get going, but just keep watching for that, and it'll get posted up there eventually if you want to rewatch this class as well. So let me just say thank you so much, Valorie, for being a part of this today. It's one of my favorite topics. We'll do more stuff like this as time goes on this year. And there's a lot of fun activities coming up. So check both meetup groups up for that. And thank you guys so much for your time and energy today, and Happy New Year. Have a good day.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.